Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Ventura Center for Spiritual Living. I am Reverend Bonnie Rose. It is a delight to see you here this morning, and a special shout out to our folks that are watching online. Thank you so much for joining us in this Cathedral of Kindness. And now I pass the word to Lonnie, practitioner and board president.
Bonnie, did you want to do a little sharing?
Oh, yes, thank you. Thank you for reminding me. Good job. Whenever my husband does the sacred readings every Sunday, and if he doesn't show up, people always ask where he is. He gave me permission to tell you that he had knee replacement surgery on Friday. Yes. And he is resting comfortably at home, and he's doing very well. So thank you. Thank you very much. And we have the wonderful, talented Mr. Bill. Where's he at? There he is. Mr. Bill filling in for Hugh today. So let's give him some love too. Okay. All right. All right. Thank you. Here you go.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning. Good morning.
Okay. I also had another idea.
What?
Like maybe people could share what brought them to church today.
Oh, okay.
And
All
not
right.
your vehicle or somebody else's vehicle.
What inspired you to come to church today?
Exactly.
Go chat with somebody. Tell somebody what inspired you to come to church. Good job, y'all. Thank you. Lonnie.
Well, I just want to welcome you again, and I'm glad that you got to meet some new people or relatively not new people. I didn't want to say old.
Okay, I gotcha.
What a great morning to be here, and we got our lovely Gia in the house.
Yay, Gia.
That means we're going to have some fun.
Yep, and so it is. Thank you, Lonnie. Let's hear from the other Mr. Bill. Hey, Dalton. How's it going?
And so it is. We'll see you. No, just kidding. So, freedom is our divine birthright. We all have the ability to think for ourselves. So we all get to choose who we are, what we do, and how we feel. So, who are you? We have the freedom to be whoever we want to be. So would you take a breath with me? Breath in and out. Visualize what kind of person you want to be when you grow up. What will you be doing? Where will you live? How will you give back to the world? You choose what you do. With freedom, though, we also get responsibility. We can choose happy, empowering thoughts or sad and angry thoughts. What we think determines our relationship with the world around us. So, how do we make the best choices for ourselves and others? I suggest you stay grounded in truth, live as your highest divine self, and be kind to others. We are all one. I invite you all to repeat after me. I am free to create me.
I am free to create me.
And so it is.
And so it is.
Thank you.
Thanks, Bill. Do y'all want to come down and hear the face of God? Want to come down? Okay, that sounds like a no. That's okay. Either way. All righty, let's sing it then. Here we go. You are the face of God. Come here. Come here. I hold you in my heart. Hi. Good to see you. Good to see you. You are the face So it is. Thank you, everybody. All right. Have fun in Sunday school. See you later. Well, that's beautiful. Thank you. Thank you for showing me that. Okay. Hi. All righty. Well, that was fun, wasn't it? Yeah. We're so blessed. So blessed. All right. So our practitioner today is Lacey. And so Lacey is going to give us a prayer. And go ahead and start.
All right. Ready to take a deep breath. Get centered. I know there's only one life, and that life is God's life. And God's life is the life of everyone, everywhere, all the time, no matter what. God is in each and every one of us. God is gratitude, faith, peace, hope, harmony, and so many other wonderful, loving qualities. And we are all a part of that. We share those abilities and feelings, and God is in all of that. And I know that today is going to be a good day. We're going to enjoy the service and the singing. And when we leave, we're going to be heartfelt, warmth, love, looking out into the world with new, positive experiences and eyes. And with all of that, I release my words into the universal law, knowing as I speak them, they are already so. And together we say, and so it is.
And so it is. Thank you so much, Lacey. Let us continue to breathe deeply and settle ever deeper into the awareness of our divine self as we listen to the words of our sacred reading.
Blessing for a new beginning from To Bless the Space Between Us by John O'Donohue. In out-of-the-way places of the heart where your thoughts never think to wander. This beginning has been quietly forming, waiting until you are ready to emerge. For a long time, it has watched your desire, feeling the emptiness growing inside you, noticing how you willed yourself on, still unable to leave what you had outgrown. It watched you play with the seduction of safety and the gray promises that sameness whispered, heard the waves of turmoil rise and relent, wondered, would you always live like this? Then the delight, when your courage kindled, and out you stepped onto new ground, your eyes young again with energy and dream, the path of plenitude opening before you. Though your destination is not yet clear, you can trust the promise of this opening. Unfurl yourself into the grace of beginning that is at one with your life's desire. Awaken your spirit to adventure, hold nothing back. Learn to find ease and risk. Soon you will be home in a new rhythm, for your soul senses the world that awaits you.
Thank you, Bill. And so breathing into that new rhythm of that soul that senses our deeper awakening in this time together, let us breathe in and breathe out and just rest in this awareness of the I Am presence. Today we know that the I Am presence lives and moves and has its perfect being through each of us, not only individually, but as a collective that blesses the world with our shared consciousness, with our awakening, with our moving deeper into the awareness that we are all one. And so today as we sing, I am remembering who I am, we remember that I am is another name for love or God or spirit, higher power. And we sing this to remember for ourselves, but we also remember for all beings everywhere. We are co-creating this world that works for all. And so we sing this to the tiniest grains of sand onto the beach, And we sing it to the planets and the stars and the cosmos and far beyond. We sing it to all eternity. I am remembering who I am. I am remembering who I am. I am remembering who I am. I am remembering. I am remembering. I am remembering who I am. I am remembering who I am. I am remembering. I am remembering. I am remembering who I am. I am remembering who I am. I am remembering. I am remembering. I am remembering who I am. I am remembering who I am. I am remembering. I am remembering. I am remembering who I am. I am remembering who I am. And resting in this divine remembrance, let us know exactly who we are, the love of God appearing in form. And with this knowing, we breathe in deeply. And then we exhale, gently opening our eyes as that love, in love, and in service to what is, as it is, and so it is. Namaste.
If I were the sun way up there, I'd glow with love most everywhere. And I'll be the moon when the sun goes down, just to let you know that I'm still around. 'Cause that's how strong my love is. Whoa. That's how strong my love is now. That's how strong my love is, darling. That's how strong my love is. I'll be the weeping willow, drowning in my tears. And you can go swimming when you are here. And I'll be the rainbow after the tears are gone, wrap you in my colors and keep you warm. 'Cause that's how strong my love is, darling. That's how strong my love is. Oh, that's how strong my love is. Whoa. That's how strong my love is. Yeah. And I'll be the ocean so deep and wide, and catch every tear whenever you cry now. And I'll be the breeze after the storm is gone to dry your eyes. Love you, 'cause that's how strong my love is, so deep and wide. That's how strong my love is now. That's how strong my love is. Whoa, that's how strong my love is now. Anything that's hard to do, I will do it for you. Any kind of love that you want now, it's wide as the sky, high like a bird that flies. My love for you. Any kind of love you want, I will give it to you. Yeah, yeah. Cause that's how strong my love is, yeah. That's how strong God's love is, whoa. That's how strong God's love is, yeah. That's how strong God's love is, oh. That's how strong. Don't you know me and you, the I am? That's how strong. 'Cause that's how strong, yeah, yeah. God's love is.
Thank you, Gino. Thank you, Chris. Great job. Thanks so much. Oh, well, welcome again, everybody. It's been a little bit since I stood up here, right? 2 weeks or so. So it's good to see y'all again. Today's talk is Brand New Day. Brand New Day. And our featured book is a book by John O'Donohue, and it's called To Bless the Space Between Us. And I'm going to start with a story, but I'm going to start with a story from this book. So John O'Donohue is a Celtic Irish poet and author, and he's no longer on this earth. He passed away at a rather young age. And anyway, this is a story from his life in Ireland. And he said that one of his neighbors was getting ready to build a house. And the neighbor put it off and put it off and put it off and put it off. And until finally one day he came out and he dug up the earth and he created the space for a foundation. Another neighbor walked by and he said, "Oh, I love this. I'm going to bless this space for you. I'm trying not to speak Irish. I'm trying really hard not to speak Irish. I'm going to bless this space for you because the hardest part is already done." And the guy said, "What are you talking about? I just got started. I just have this hole in the earth." And the neighbor said, "To begin is the hardest part. To begin is the hardest part." And are you all aware that we have this daily gift that is given to us every morning, a new beginning? Wow, what was God thinking? We are so fortunate to have a new beginning in the morning. This is from John O'Donohue as well. The contemplative tradition has always recognized the morning as the time to see the new day with a sense of creative expectation and open-heartedness. As it said in Brother Bill's reading there, open-heartedness, expectation and open-heartedness for a new day. But I'm wondering, do we always greet the morning with that in mind? Yes? Good. I'm glad to hear that. Maybe raise your pinky if you don't always greet them. Okay. Oh, some people, okay. I was chatting with one of our practitioners recently, and I told her that I often greet my morning with a gigantic lie, which is which is, you know, when like you got your alarm set on snooze, right? And you slap the snooze button or you swipe the snooze button. And the thought behind that is like, 5 more minutes and this will be a good thing. Getting up will be a good thing. The house will be warmer. I will be well rested. I shall get up with glee. And then 5 minute comes, same thing. Yep. Many others of us greet the morning in other ways. Good morning, no such thing. That's Grumpy Cat. And then this cat, perhaps is obsessed with coffee, but it says good morning. And I was thinking, some of us wake up ready to drink the nectar of the gods in all existence. Right? Again, anybody? Yeah? Okay, good, great. Well, you're retired. What are you talking about? Sorry. Okay. All right. It is still the nectar of the gods, yes. Here's a quiz for you. And everybody's going to pass, I promise you. Just in case anybody got tense, okay? The obstacle to a good morning is A, outer conditions that weigh upon us. B, our thoughts about the outer conditions that weigh upon us. C, believing our thoughts about outer conditions that weigh upon us. D, all of the above. How many of you vote for D, right? Some people in metaphysics would say outer conditions don't have any impact on us, but that's just a big stinking lie, isn't it? Right? You know, sorry, but it is. You know, they don't have to have an impact on us, but if we're wearing a human body, outer conditions are going to have an impact on us, and we get to work with that. We get to use that impact to move into examining our thoughts about conditions and seeing how much we're believing our thoughts about conditions as the only truth. And then we get to make new choices if we get there, right? So those are some of the obstacles to a good morning, the things that we kind of make up about ourselves, right? That we make up about life. And just for a moment, if you would, think about the nature of your first thought in the morning. What does your first thought in the morning usually look like? Do you want to share? It sounds like some of y'all want to share. If you want to share next to somebody near you, what your first thought is like. Look at you, fear and gratitude. Awesome. We got the whole spectrum going on here. This is awesome. I love it. Yes, we bless everything here, including fear, including gratitude, including all of it. So some of the nature of our first thoughts that may get in the way of a great day. I love this. Okay. Alarm, right? We call it an alarm clock, right? When it goes off, are we alarmed? Sometimes, yes. Gone are the days when a gentle rooster crow used to wake us up. Unless you live in Santa Paula, as I do, there's often a rooster that chirps first thing in the morning. I would love to get a rooster, by the way, if anybody's looking for what to get me from no, I can't have one. Sorry, never mind. Okay, all right. So some of our first thoughts are about alarm or alarming to us. Another thought is brace yourself. Brace yourself. It's going to be a day. You know how it is when you're sitting in the dentist chair and they're getting ready to clean your teeth, right? You're like this, please don't hurt me, please don't hurt me. Some of us awake to our day with that type of consciousness saying, please don't hurt me, please don't hurt me, please don't throw anything at me that I cannot handle, please, please, please. Scarcity. Some of us start the day with thoughts of scarcity. My particular scarcity is not enough time. There's not enough time to get all of this stuff done. And that, my friends, is an illusion. It's either an illusion that there is indeed enough time to get stuff done if I move slowly, paradoxically slowly, or I put way too much on my to-do list, right? So look at your own thoughts. What do you think about first thing in the morning? All of the above. And this reminded me of, there's a picture, there's Jesus. I thought it was a different slide. What would Jesus is holding his alarm clock, his iPhone, okay? What would Jesus's first thought be? Probably all of the above, actually. But I doubt it would be those pesky Pharisees. Dang it, they're going to give me a hard time today. I got to brace myself for all the people that are going to need to be healed. Will I have enough healing energy in me? He might have fleeting thoughts of that, right? But then perhaps he centered himself and recognized the spiritual truth. I want to let you know that we are a multi-faith church, and I did try and find a picture of Buddha with his cell phone. Did not exist on the internet. I don't know. Buddha's got to get with the technology, doesn't he? Okay. All right. So my next question. If you could encapsulate your morning thoughts to one sentence, one word, whether it's scarcity or alarm or there's not enough or what will life throw at me today, would you want that on a Post-it? On your head? I was going to actually give everybody a Post-it and have you write your thought and stick it to your head. But honestly, although we don't literally have a Post-it on our head, if we're carrying around thoughts of scarcity or not enough time, not enough energy, alarm, any of that stuff, it is kind of like wearing a Post-it on our head because it reads in our behavior and in our response to life. We're showing life what we are, right? And so it's truly important to look at what we're thinking about and recognize that it does reflect outwardly. Thoughts are a habitual tale. Now, I have a picture of Alexa here because how many of you listen to music on some type of streaming device, whether it's a phone or Alexa or whatever? All of the Alexas online are going off, by the way, right now, whenever I say her name. Alexa, shuffle songs, but never mind, okay? Well, and anyway, we just saw a show of hands of how many of you have those devices. How many of you, there are infinite numbers of songs to listen to, infinite numbers of podcasts, evidently, infinite numbers of things you can stream. How many of you listen to the same thing over and over and over again? I do. It's incredible. It's incredible. And it's a similar relationship that we have with our thoughts. There are an infinite number of thoughts that we could have, but we keep having the same thoughts over and over again. And most of the time, the thoughts that we repeat are the thoughts that we do not wish to have. The thoughts that are highly protective and they feel like they're helping, but they may not be creating the type of experience in life that we wish to have. Because in this teaching, we teach that the quality of our thoughts affects the quality of our life. Our perception, our seeing, affects what we experience. So thoughts are a habitual tale that we tell ourselves. We tell ourselves a tale about external reality, about what is outside of us, right? We tell ourselves a habitual tale about ourselves. And then we have thoughts about our thoughts. I shouldn't be thinking this. I'm a science of mind person. I shouldn't be thinking this. My thoughts are real. I'm the exception. Right? I can get away with thinking this and still have a good life. Actually you can to a certain extent. God's grace is bigger than any thoughts that we may impose upon it. But we have these thoughts over and over again, and then we call it reality. I remember months ago I was talking about the idea of our thoughts being like a little sweater that we knit for ourselves, right? And we knit this sweater around ourselves, this construction, this construct of our belief, our perception of the world. And we take that as permanent and binding. I chose a sweater because if you've ever unraveled knitting, you know how easy it is to unravel, right? But we take that construct as permanent and binding. And one of the most vivid examples I have of this is, in looking at some of our ideas about race or gender and whatnot in this current world, my greatest experience with that was being in India and experiencing what they used to call untouchables. And somebody made up this idea that there's a certain caste of people that are untouchable. And I tell this story about one of the men that I knew his son. This man was doing a cleaning contest and he touched an untouchable's broom. And this woman came up to him and he said, "Now you're an untouchable. You are an untouchable because you touched that broom. But I'm going to touch you with my gold earring and then you won't be an untouchable anymore." Completely made up, right? And it's not, the whole thing is made up. It's not like it's that far into what we do because we make up stories about the nature of reality and our place in it all the time. And what if our stories are as bizarre as that story about curing somebody of untouchability. First of all, assuming that somebody is untouchable and then curing them with their untouchability with a gold earring. What if our stories are as bizarre about that? Whether it's about the world, whether it's about ourselves, whether it's about our thoughts about our thoughts. Our thoughts are not mandatory. And I think Louise Hay said this. It's only a thought, and a thought can be changed. Is that Louise Hay? Did I get that right? It was in my early Science of Mind training, so it probably was her because she was one of my first. It's only a thought, and a thought can be changed. So my next question for you is, do you want a great life? Do you want a great life? You may be having a great life already, and if you are having a great life already, do you want an even greater life? Raise your hand up high if you want a great life. I want to see everybody's hand up there, okay? Change is possible. It's only a thought, and a thought can be changed. Thoughts, even the negative ones, even the ones that are untrue, thoughts are a portal for change when we notice them. And morning is a literal wake-up call to change our thinking and change our lives about the nature of reality, about the nature of ourselves, about the nature of our place in reality, and about our thoughts about our thoughts. Morning is a wake-up call. Got some tools to help us apply this. One of them is mindfulness. One of them is something I call the persnickety relative principle. Relative as in aunt, uncle, mother, father, spouse, sibling. You decide. The other one I'm calling like a little child. And the last one is laughing in the mirror. We're going to go through these one by one. Okay, the first one is notice. See that? What's her name? The Dowager Countess from Downton Abbey, right? Maggie Smith, yes. I'll say why she's up there in just a minute, although you may have guessed by now. Mindfulness is a huge part of this teaching, right? We cultivate the observer. We learn to observe our thoughts without getting caught up in them. So often the opposite is true. We look at our thoughts and then we get caught up in them and we start thinking our thoughts are true. But again, it is only a thought, and a thought can be changed. So we notice our thoughts. We notice our thoughts with compassion and with detachment. And then, if we want to, we can apply, once we see our thoughts, the persnickety relative principle. Again, show of pinkies if you so desire. Does anybody have a persnickety relative, friend, acquaintance? I'm seeing whole hands here that you kind of wish would go away. Many of you know that I was just in South Carolina. I went to our denomination conference and I taught a workshop on heartivism, which was awesome to do. It's great to spread the teachings of this center far and wide to ministers all around the country. And because I was in the South, I used to live in North Carolina, and it revived some of my Southernisms. One of the ministers was talking about going there, and she's like, I've never been in the South before. And somebody else said, I can teach you how to speak Southern. And I chimed in and said, I can teach you how to speak Southern too. The other minister said, well, I've heard that you say, after everything, you just say, well, bless your little heart. If somebody insults you, right? Or if you hear something, if somebody insults you, or if somebody is doing something that you don't necessarily approve of, bless your little heart. Bless your little heart. You can also say it, as I mentioned, after insults, an insult that a persnickety relative might give you. So I looked up some Southern insults, and we can practice saying bless your little heart after them. These are things that you might say to yourself. And some of them that I looked up were not church friendly. So feel free to go home and Google Southern insults. Here's one. Let's say you're looking in the mirror first thing in the morning and you don't like the way you look. You might say to yourself, somebody done hit you with the ugly stick. When you hear that little voice, you say, bless your little heart. It's similar to saying, thank you for sharing, right? Yeah. That's another Louise Hay thing, I think, right? Here's one if you're not feeling very bright, if you're feeling like there's something that you're just not getting and you wish you were getting it. You could say to yourself, "You're about as sharp as a bowling ball this morning." When you hear your voice say something like that, what do we say? Bless your little heart. Thank you for sharing. Okay. Okay, here's one that is questionable church friendly. It has the word but in it. Not B-U-T, but B-U-T. Okay, I'm making it worse, okay? B-U-T-T. This is from Steel Magnolias. This is what you say to yourself maybe if you're struggling for an answer and you're juggling many multiple ideas and opinions and you're confused, right? You could say to yourself, "You're so confused, you don't know whether to scratch your wristwatch or wind your butt." And what do you say to that little voice in your head? Bless your little heart. Thank you for sharing. What if we were to teach all of the persnickety voices in our heads, just like they're a persnickety aunt or uncle, sibling, whatever it is, relative, friend? What if we were just say, "Bless your little heart. Thanks so much for sharing. I'm going to move on," right? With a persnickety relative, if we're awake, I don't always do this, but you can just kind of honor them where they are, kind of detach and step aside, reorient to something better, right? Okay. Same thing with our thoughts. All right. Like a little child. Probably a lot of you have either had children or been around children or had pets as your children. And think about the way that you greet your children in the morning, or that you greeted your children in the morning when they were little. You wouldn't start criticizing them right off the bat, would you? My mom used to walk into my bedroom to wake me up for school singing positive songs. I don't remember which ones, something like "Good morning to you, good morning to you." That one, you know that one? All right, never mind. When I talk to my animals in the morning, it's always, "I'm so happy to see you. I'm so glad you're awake. Let's do something fun today," right? Am I off about this? Do people, I'm seeing some blank looks. Do people really greet their children that way? Maybe not, okay, because it's, the realities of having a family might be different. But in your head, you may want to greet your little child that way. And what if you were to greet yourself that morning, in the morning that way? "I'm so glad you're awake. We're going to have a great day today. There are all kinds of possibilities. My heart is open to whatever spirit wants to express through you today, little one." Thich Nhat Hanh said something similar. I'm paraphrasing here. This is in Richard Rohr's meditation, for one of his meditations for last week that coincidentally one of our practitioners posted on our group page. And Thich Nhat Hanh said, "Embrace negativity with tenderness. Your negativity is not your enemy. It is your baby. It is your baby. It's like your stomach or your lungs. Every time you have some kind of trouble in your lungs or your stomach, you don't think of throwing them away. The same is true with negativity. You accept it because you know you can take care of it. You can transform it into positive energy. And you know what? Every time we resist negativity and we try and push it away, we're affirming that this negativity is too strong for us. Every time we accept and embrace negativity, we are affirming the spiritual truth that there is something greater within us that is greater, more powerful, more loving, kinder, gentler, humbler than any negative thought that the separate self can dream up. So we treat, if we have it, our early morning negativity like a little child. Oh. Laughing at the mirror. Okay. I meant to change this and I forgot. Okay. This is me a few years ago. Actually, now I think I look kind of good because it's been a few years. But I was working on a project and I was trying to make myself look disheveled, which is not a stretch for me anyway. How many of you have heard, again, I think it's Louise Hay. This is kind of a Louise Hay morning, isn't it? From Louise Hay, look in the mirror and say you love yourself. How many of you have actually done it? Oh, look at you. You're so good. You're so much better than me. How many of you have actually done it consistently? Oh, look at y'all. I'm so impressed. That's awesome. do you get there? Okay, somebody come up on stage and explain this to me. Do you get there right away, or do you have to work through a bunch of, oh my God, there's a wrinkle. Oh, do you have to work through a bunch of that first? Okay, good, because that's me, and sometimes I don't get past that point. But the other day, people, I got past that point. I looked in the mirror, and I looked worse than that. And I looked at myself, and I'm like, find something good to say to this morning face that has sleep crusted in the eyes and makeup running down her cheeks and a few more wrinkles. And I looked at myself in the mirror, and I said, Bonnie, your eyebrows look very becoming today. It's a start. And then I started laughing. You know, it's so amazing to be able to laugh at life and to be able to laugh at ourselves in life, because again, that is an affirmation that there is something within me that is bigger than whatever is coming up that can laugh at it. For me, the two keys to a successful life are laughter and service. And our laughter is a service. We serve laughter, and our laughter serves us, right? And the beauty of this is that it's a metaphor. We laugh at life's mirror. When we can laugh at ourselves, we can laugh at life's mirror too. And that is incredibly empowering. One more thing, one more coda. This is what I say every Sunday, but I can't say it enough because I often forget it, and I'm assuming that others do too, is that we often identify with our thoughts, with what we are thinking in the current moment, because we think they are so real. But what if instead we could identify with the spiritual truth? Certainly our laughter, our willingness to say, bless your little heart, our willingness to embrace the negativity helps us identify with the spiritual truth. But there's a spiritual truth that is greater than what we know. There's a story in the John O'Donohue book about a man who was, no, it's not from John O'Donohue. I'm sorry. It's about a thing I was listening to, a YouTube I was listening to about Buddhism and Carl Jung. And they were talking about a man, a mathematician who had a dream. He had been working on this problem all day long, and it was an unsolvable problem, and he couldn't figure it out. And he went to sleep, and when he woke up, he had the answer. The man didn't know the answer, but the answer knew him. And the truth is that if you have a problem that seems unsolvable, that you are struggling with in the early morning, not sleeping at night because of it, you may not know the answer right now, but the answer knows you. That is very similar to the idea that you may be in search of a miracle. You may be wanting a miracle. You may be unable to bring up a miracle. But the miracle knows you. The miracle that you are seeking is seeking you. And this from our brothers and sisters, Abraham Hicks. Well-being is tracking you. Well-being wants to express through your life right now in every aspect of your life. Is that too much to hold? Is that believable? We're here together to support one another in that belief of knowing that well-being is wanting to express through us that we are Spirit's gift to the world, so that Spirit can receive the gift that we give as we express fully in the world back into itself. Well-being is tracking you because well-being wants to express through your life so that well-being can experience well-being. How about that? Here's a quote from John O'Donohue. There is within each heart a hidden voice that calls out for freedom and creativity. We often linger for years in spaces that are too small and shabby for the grandeur of our spirit. Each of us is the artist of our days. So this morning and every morning from now on is the opportunity to celebrate the grandeur of our spirit. No matter what we're worried about, say, bless your little heart, embrace it, laugh at it, let it go, and allow the grandeur of your spirit to transform that into something magnificent for you because you deserve it. You are the well-being of God wanting to express here on the planet Earth. You are an expression of spirit wanting to experience itself through you. And the more we can give ourselves to that knowing, the more beautiful our lives become and the more beautiful God becomes. The more we realize the beauty of God that expresses within us that already exists. In closing, let us read this together. This is from Ernest Holmes. Here we go. I rise to meet a new day filled with confidence and strength. I rise and go forth into the dawn, inspired and refreshed by the living spirit within me. Wake up, y'all. And so it is. Namaste. Thank you. Thanks. All righty then. Here we go. All right, let us pray. So I just turn within and recognize that this truly is a new day. That every single person here is connected to the divine that is everything. There is truly one life. That life is God's life, and that life is our life right now, individually and collectively. And so knowing this in heart and mind and being, we celebrate this. And we allow our actions and our lives and our words to celebrate this, our thoughts to celebrate this. We are clearly empowered to take on a new day with thoughts of grace and kindness. And if negativity comes up, we treat it like a little child and we embrace it and we allow it to move us to a greater place of equanimity and peace and joy and exuberance and love for the divine expression that we truly are. And so I'm grateful, so grateful for the transformation I know that has occurred in each of us this morning. So grateful for the sharing of this transformation with the world. I bless all paths to God as I bless this one. Churches, synagogues, temples, mosques, ashrams, fundamentalists, atheists, agnostics. And with a heart that is so filled with blessedness, I say, thank you, Spirit, thank you, love. And I release these words into the divine mystery. And together we say, and so it is. Namaste.
Thank you so much.
Sure.
It's very exciting to learn new ways of being in the world. And that's what's so beautiful about our center is because we can be here and we get to practice.
Yes, we do.
Because how many times you get like so energized about making these changes and then something happens on the steps outside of the church. I don't know what it is, but it's a great place to practice in here that we can change our thoughts. And in doing that, it's a ripple. So this morning, I just invite you with the offering this is a great opportunity to set an intention and a gratitude as you prepare your offering. And it's a practice. So I invite you to place your offering over your heart and repeat after me. We trust in spirit.
We trust in spirit.
Love is a giver and receiver of all that we are.
Love is the giver and receiver of all that we are.
We offer this gift.
We offer this gift.
It is an outer expression of our inner abundance and compassion.
It is an outer expression of our inner abundance and compassion.
Our gifts bless many
Our gifts bless many
and return to us multiplied in miraculous ways,
and return to us multiplied in miraculous ways,
so that we may give again.
so that we may give again.
And so it is.
And so it is.
Jimmy Cliff wrote this song. And you probably know this, right? I can see clearly now the rain is gone. I can see all obstacles in my way. Gone are the dark clouds that had me blind. It's gonna be a bright, 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 sunshiny day. It's gonna be a bright, 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 sunshiny day. Right? I think I can make it now. The pain is gone. All of the bad feelings have disappeared. Oh, here is that rainbow I've been praying for. It's gonna be a bright, bright, sunshiny day. Yeah, yeah. It's gonna be a bright, 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 sunshiny day. Look straight around, there's nothing but blue skies. Look straight ahead, nothing but blue skies. can see clearly now the rain is gone. I can see all obstacles in my way. Hey, hey, hey. Gone are the dark thoughts that had me blind. Oh, it's gonna be a bright, 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 sunshiny day. Oh, no, it's gonna be a bright, bright, sunshiny day. Yeah. It's gonna be a bright, 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 sunshiny day. Yeah. It's gonna be a bright, 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 sunshiny day. 'Cause we can make it that way. It's a bright, 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 sunshiny day. Yeah. It's gonna be a bright, 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 sunshiny day. Yeah.
Gourmet for ambassadors, Mark and Lacey and Jim. If they're wearing a teal stole, if you're new, or if you have questions about the church, about the center, feel free to ask them questions after the service. They'll be happy to answer any questions. And if they don't know the answer, they will research it and get back to you. They're very good about that. So be sure to get your answers. Gourmet for Gods host signups. For those of you, how many have done a Gourmets for God in the past? Yeah, many hands. Those of you who are interested in putting on a party, and it can be all sorts of different kinds of parties, and you can get lots of suggestions back in the social hall. Jennifer will be at the desk. You can sign up to give a party, and then people will bid on the party, and they'll win their bid, and they'll come to your party, and they'll have a wonderful time, and they will give their bid money to the church. So it's a fun community raiser, and it's also a fundraiser for the church. So think about giving a party and hosting it, meeting new people, or enjoying old friends that you already know. And the money that is then given to the church, and that helps us a lot get through the year. So go back in the social hall and check it out with Jennifer. There is a new and exciting discussion group that is starting March 20th. That's coming up. And it is Science and Spirituality. And it's on Wednesday. And it is led by Mari and Peter. And they will be facilitating this on a monthly basis. And it explores the strange new worlds of quantum physics and consciousness that parallel what the mystics have been teaching us for millennia. So I know that Peter's here, and you can ask questions, but it's basically looking at hard science that is feels very modern, and how that really relates to the ancient wisdom that has been around for centuries. And that will be on Wednesday evening at 6:30. 6. The blood drive is also March 20th, and you can click on the QR code or go to the Red Cross website to schedule an appointment. Blood drive is done by the Red Cross. It's very important. If you can give blood, that's wonderful, but you do have to sign up. You can't just show up. I am going to be doing a BBFFF workshop. And that is being your body's best food friend forever. And that's going to start on March 19th, which is a Tuesday. And it will be in the evening here in person, 6:30 to 8:30. And this
class, if you happen to be tired of losing weight and then gaining weight, or getting off sugar and then getting back on sugar, or whatever your relationship with food and with eating, and how it really affects your body, and how your body, what your body likes and doesn't like, what's really good for your body. It's going to teach about old eating habits and overcoming food addictions. It's a class that's going to include knowledge and research, guidance and practical strategies that will bring you peace and the results that you want. So if you really want to be good to your body, be your body's best friend. And one of the ways to do that is really get clear about food and eating and how it affects you and how you live your life and how it can be better lived with food and eating. And it's priceless pricing, and you can sign up in the social hall. And feel free to ask me any questions about that. But I'm really excited to be bringing that to the center. Another workshop, this is Transforming Your Relationship, and that is March 23rd, and it's 10 a.m. to 1 p.m., and it's a workshop facilitated by a wonderful Reverend Jennifer. It's March 20th. Let's pray out. Divine Spirit is here in this center, here in every one of us. And it's also throughout the whole cosmos. It's people who are watching online or later on YouTube. It's everywhere. Divine Spirit flows. And we are all part of that. This day is a brand new day. This service has enlightened us, and we take that light and take it out into the world in our own special, unique way. We are grateful for all the ways that we get to receive and all the ways that we get to give. We're grateful for this community and how much it enlivens us, fills us with purpose, and gives us the freedom to be who we truly are. So I'm grateful that we have had this time together, and everyone goes home or goes on to the next thing with peace and tranquility, with love and light. I release my words into the law of manifestation and love. And together we say, and so it is. Namaste.